Hema?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can start now.
Yes. Shall I start, sir?
Yes, Hema.
Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. A warm and hearty welcome to each and everyone gathered here for this national level virtual hackathon. And a special thanks to the guests of honor and the judicial panel who has graced their presence and shared their valuable time with us. This is Hemalatha B, Chairperson of Photonic Society IEEE Student Branch, welcoming you all to this grand event. The IEEE Societies of St. Joseph Institute of Technology, in collaboration with IEEE SPACs and MIT Square, takes immense pride in organizing Error by Night, a virtual hackathon. This ongoing pandemic had scrambled many countries to find the effective ways to control the COVID situation. To tackle this health disaster, an adequate coordination solution is to be put in place, and the best tool to handle this situation is disaster risk management. On the other hand, the world of education and learning is moving towards online training, especially during this pandemic. Its benefit is undeniable. E-learning comes with its own particular characteristics. The goal of this hackathon is to work together in teams and develop solutions for these challenges. Everybody has a creative potential, and for the moment you can express this creative potential, you can start changing the world. Hackathons are where your crazy ideas becomes reality. We are living a period of rapid change driven by innovation and technology. Our ability to observe and use related information will depend on how fast and how often upon Ms. Yoga Priya to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Hema. Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out, says John Wooden. A very good evening to one and all gathered here. I am Yoga Priya, the Vice Chairperson of Women in Engineering from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. I cordially welcome you all to this hackathon, Error by Night, organized by the IEEE Societies of St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, Department of ECE, in collaboration with IEEE SPACs. In the light of today's event, I would like to thank our chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan, Managing Director, Mrs. B. Jessipriya, Director, Mr. B. Sashishekar, and our principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran, for their ceaseless support. I bid a very warm welcome to all the renowned speakers and juries who took out their valuable time and joined us today to be a part of this hackathon. I warmly welcome our chief guest, Mr. Ajay Singh Rajput, Software Developer MIC, Ministry of Education, Dr. Adil Osman, Chairman, IEEE SPACs, Board of Directors for IEEE IA Society, Ministry of Defense, Government of India, Dr. Mithilesh Satyanarayanan, CEO, MIT Square, London. We welcome you all. I would like to take the honor to introduce our jury members. Mr. M. Vijay Jones, Net MS Dynamic CRM Architect, Principal Consultant, Tech Systems, Bangalore. Ms. Rupa Shetty, Lead Analyst, CGI Information System and Management, Consulting Private Limited, Bangalore. Mr. Shyam, CSI Global Analyst, and Mr. Beren J, OFSS Employee Staff Consultant, Oracle, Bangalore. We welcome you all. We are honored to have you all with us. Nextly, I would like to welcome all the brilliant minds who have joined us. We have received an overwhelming registration of 149 teams, out of which 56 teams have been shortlisted, which makes it an overall of 130 young talented minds amidst us. We welcome you all with a grateful heart. Last but never the least, I would like to introduce and welcome the organizing team of Error by Night who have made this hackathon functional in such hard times. Our convener, Dr. C. Gnanath Hosalia, IEEE Chapter Advisor, Professor and Head of Staff and Student Affairs. Our co-convener, Dr. G. Rohan, IEEE Staff Coordinator, Professor and Head of Lab Affairs. Our coordinator, Mr. Pinochet, Assistant Professor. Our program coordinators, Ms. Hemalatha B, Chairperson of IEEE Photonics Society, Mr. Dhanush B, Chairperson of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, our student coordinator, Mr. Darshan M, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society, Mr. Rajamuthu S, Chairperson of IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society. Our public relation liaison, Ms. Darshini B, Chairperson of IEEE Women in Engineering, our Design Committee Lead, Ms. Revathy J, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Broadcast Technology Society, our Digital Content Lead, Ms. Shruti K, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, our Advertising Committee Lead, Ms. Ganga Devi K, Chairperson of IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society, our Logistics Committee Lead, Ms. Monisha Priya U, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society, our Documentation Committee Lead, Ms. Blessy Esther S, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Photonics Society, and our Treasurer, Ms. Shweta S, Chairperson of IEEE Broadcast Technology Society. To conclude, I wish you all great success in your pursuits. Enjoy the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogapriya. We work to create light for others. We naturally light our own way. In the right light at the right time, everything is extraordinary. When you possess light within, you see it externally, lightening the Kuttuvelakku. Thank you all for your participation and congratulations to our young innovators for being selected for this hackathon. We are sure you will learn a lot during these 3 days and we look forward to excellent results. Now I would request Ms. Revathy to take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Hema. The task is not so much to see what no one has yet seen, but to think what nobody has yet thought about that everybody sees. A very good evening and warm welcome to one and all present here for Error by Night Hackathon Day 1 webinar. I am Revathy J, IEEE Student Vice Chair of BTA Society from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Now, our guest speaker for today is Mr. Ajay Singh Rajawar. Working with Innovation Cell along with All India Council for Technical Education for promoting innovation and startup ecosystem in India, primary responsibilities are managing entire IT systems and cloud for MIC, designing and scaling hard systems for national or international hackathons, interaction with ministries in order to identify the problems related to IT and data analysis and conducting hackathons based on the requirements. Member of Smart India Hackathon Committee, ASEAN India Hackathon, India Portugal Innovation Initiatives, India Luxembourg Innovation Initiatives, UNESCO initiatives. Successfully delivered 25 startups in India Innovative Ecosystem, 10 more in pipeline, along with 32 patents filed so far along with young innovators. Part of programs in Ministry of Education as a contributor in entire IT operations for the programs like Kalam program for IT literacy and awareness, School Innovation Ambassador programs, International Hackathon model that enables Ministry of Education Innovation Cell to work continuously during pandemic. Before we start the session, I would like to say few instructions to be followed by the participants. Kindly post your questions in the chat box. There would be a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. Now I invite our speaker of the day to kindly start the session. Sir.
Thank you for this wonderful introduction, Revathy ji. And I would like to welcome all the participants who got selected for this hackathon. Particularly, like, I was really shocked to see that nowadays no one is just waiting for uh, governmental initiatives in terms of hackathon, and instead they are conducting their own hackathons. So the number of innovations and number of startups definitely going to increase, and I'm sure 100% sure about that this hackathon will definitely come up with not only with the solution but the successful startup as well. As in beginning, I would like to tell you one a story, like when we all started via Smart India Hackathon. The hackathon in India, it's not just an event, it's a kind of a festival that people actually enjoy for 2 days or 3 days, sometimes for a week. And being a part of Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, I personally saw that. I saw that, like, what kind of craze people are having in their mind, and how they are actually mapping their ideas and giving them a form of a prototype, whether it's a software or hardware. It's really nice to see you guys, the young innovators, developing and solving challenges of day-to-day life, especially for like special sectors like that is related to SDGs. So I would like to welcome you all, and I would like to thank St. Joseph's College that you took this initiative, the entire authority and the senior management of the college, that you are going in a right direction, the direction that actually our nation needs to become Atmanirbhar in a sort of just not in hackathon mode. It's a like self-reliant mode, and making students self-reliant, not to depend on someone's job offer. Instead, they are going to offer some jobs. So as like the topic was mentioned, like unifying coders and designers, it is a software hackathon. So a few things I would like to mention here is from my experience and what I have seen in the past 4 editions of Smart India Hackathon. And recently we have launched Manthan, that is a first ever national hackathon on national security, digital security and surveillance. Software hackathon is a key measure to actually check the root level, the grassroots level grooming of a techie, especially from the branch of like electronics and communication, IT and CS. So from this hackathon, the designers and developers, it's like the theme is very unique. Like the theme is something that a designer should contribute in a way that the application or the solution that you are working on needs to be that kind of a user interface should be like that someone is using it, so it's going to enjoy that particular thing. And developer is someone who's going to create the entire logic of that. So see, in our IT industry, like I'm also having experience of 8 years spending in IT industry. I personally saw that as a developer, that a designer and a developer is a combination. If that combination is of an 100% good level, I think the end product is going to be very good in user adaptability, or you can say by getting the feedback, and the interaction between a human and a software is going to be good. But if this coordination is little bit of fill of ego, little bit fill up of a gap of a salary slab or some skill slab, so the things goes really different, and in a sort of the end product is going to be the null and void. It is not going to be accepted by the user or the person who are making a solution with. So in short, in the cut short, the designers and developers, especially the participating in this unique hackathon, must focus on the unity in the collaboration. They must interchange idea. Like if a user interface, the designer is giving some idea, a developer should understand that. And if a developer is adopting that idea, so he can give at least an input, like your input was good. That is called a team management strategy in corporates. But in hackathons, it's known as the strategy to succeed. So in short, when we talk about the hackathon, see guys, nowadays, the hackathon is the only method where lots of people, like I personally saw that when I meet my senior officials from different ministries, even though our chief innovation officer Abhay sir, he keeps on receiving requests from lots of ministries and people that we want solution for this, we want solution for that. But a single point repository, it's not going to be created here. So this kind of hackathon that you're participating in and you're selected for the grand finale, you'll be working for 3 continuous days. I think this is the opportunity to show your actual talent that world can see. This hackathon or these type of hackathon are definitely going to make changes in the current innovation ecosystem, because young entrepreneurs from grassroots level are coming up with a solution that is acknowledged by us, that is acknowledged by going to be acknowledged by people out there, that is going to acknowledged by a person who is facing that problem. So like I saw in the beginning when the Diya lightning ceremony was conducted in a way that on a single click the Diya was going on. So we are not going to conduct all these things all the time, right? Sometimes the day will come when we will be actually coming to the auditorium of the college and we will be doing that. But during pandemic, you see, our actual zeal is not dead because of this pandemic. We did it virtually. We lit it that lamp, and we actually having something in our like from inside telling us that we should do that. So that is the connection of a hackathon and a techie. Like whether the condition is of pandemic, endemic, or whatever the thing is, things keeps on coming, keeps on going. But our innovator keeps on innovating, keeps on innovating. So this particular platform is giving you energy, a full of energy resource. It's kind of giving you energy resource that can build up your skills. If you're not winning at the moment, don't worry. You are going to build up that skills inside, so that when you'll be applying in Smart India Hackathon, you will be having some experience. And I think previously, when SIH was conducted for 2019, 18, 17 edition, no other hackathon was conducted so far. Though private hackathons were there, but not at that layman level. So if you're performing in this, you're getting failed, you're not getting selected, your prototype is not good, don't get demotivated in terms of that, because कहते हैं how one quote in Hindi, वो क्या सीखेगा चलना जो कभी गिरा नहीं. So in short, in a cut short, you cannot walk like all the time. You have to first fall down and then you have to stand up so that you can make your TEDx talks a bit longer. So this is the innovators podium right now I'm interacting with, and I'm 100% sure that from this hackathon, when it's going to be concluded, we will be coming up with some more innovative solutions so that I can come and I can personally interact with the winners or the people who have submitted some innovative ideas. Some my expectation is a bit high, and I think the expectation needs to be there, because it's an odd hours right now. The people are logging off from their office, even though I'm also logging off from my office, and you guys are starting something. It's really motivating, and it's really good to see that these young minds are always ready to innovate. So as a concluding remarks, I would just would like to say that these initiatives are very rare. So if you got this chance, work hard for these 3 days or 2 days for your coding part, and make sure the coordination between you, like a developer and a designer, becomes eminent one, so that in grand finale, if I'm joining in, or like if someone else is joining in, they can say, yes, this is the coordination that came up with a vital solution, the vital solution that actually world needs. So I'm just closing my remarks on this. I'm concluding the statement by thanking all the entire authority of St. Joseph's. Thanks for inviting me in this particular hackathon as an inauguration ceremony. And I'm really sure that you will keep doing these initiatives in future. And that is also going to motivate other institutions as well. Though it's a mode of IEEE or not, but yes, the show must go on in this way. I'm really excited to see the list of winners for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a stimulating and fruitful webinar session. By this, we came to the end of our day one webinar. Now I think we can proceed for idea presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening all. At first, I am welcoming you all for this 3 days virtual hackathon. And I would also like to congratulate you people for selecting for the first round. Now it is a queries and answering session. Now I will just share you the do's and don'ts of this hackathon at first for 5 minutes. Then at last 10 minutes, I will just clarifying all your queries, and you can also post your questions in the chat box. Okay. Now let's see about the do's of this hackathon. The participants can use any of the programming languages. There is no constraint about that. And the participants can work on their project even after the given schedule. That is, we have given the schedule as 11:15 p.m. as the end of the day. The participants can also work after that. And the participant can use any kind of libraries and open source API. Yeah, you can use Bootstrap or jQuery. There is no constraint about that. Then you can also use some open source API. There are also several government APIs are available. You can use that. And now moving on to the don'ts, that participants cannot leave in between the prototyping and mentoring sessions. You must be available for all the 3 sessions that we have allocated for you. And the participants cannot submit previously completed work during the prototyping round. You must submit the work that must be done within these 3 days. You must not submit the work that completed previously during the another hackathon or in the another competition. And the participants should not discontinue once the event is initiated. You must be available for all the sessions. And I will just share you the schedule for 3 days. At first, day 1. Today we are just having the inauguration function till 6:30 to 8 p.m. Then we are having the webinar also conducted, which is also finished. Next, we are also having the idea presentation round. At last, we are also having the mentoring session. I will just share you about the idea presentation round. Almost 159 registrations, 159 teams registration we have got through this Error by Night platform. Now we have shortlisted almost 60 teams for the round 1. That is what idea presentation. You are requested to present your ideas that you have submitted during the round 1 shortlisting. The participants are encouraged to do the presentation within 5 to 7 minutes. And by the end of the day, the mentoring session will also be there. The judges will share their feedback based on your presentation. Next, there is no shortlisting or filtering. Sorry, I couldn't hear your voice. Yeah, am I audible to all? Is there any problem?
No, Dhanush, you are audible. You just proceed.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, next we are moving to the day 2 schedule. Yeah. Day 2 on the will starts from 8 a.m. the next morning. That the prototyping round 1 will begins. All 60 teams will be directly qualified to the prototyping round 1. In the prototyping round 1, that either the guests or judges will be available to evaluate you whether that work is completely done by you or it is done previously, or whether you have just got the codes from either internet or some other sources. So the prototyping round will entirely based on to evaluate whether the work is completely done by you. And there will be a master hacks to evaluate. They will ask you people to share your screen, and you can continue your work with the further proceedings. Next, we are also having the webinar, which is already we have shared in the browser. Next, we are also having the prototyping round 2. In between this prototyping round, there we are also having some icebreaker events so that you people can relax yourself for just 10 to 15 minutes. And finally, on the end of day 2, we are having another one mentoring session. During that mentoring session, again, the judges will be available to share the feedback about your prototyping, what you have done on that day. And there will be a shortlisting on the end of day 2. That shortlisting will be done and the top 25 teams will be selected for the day 3 finale. And next we are moving on to day 3 schedule. Yeah. Finally, 25 teams will be qualified to the next round, prototyping round 3, and they will be undergone several evaluation. And finally, there is also one more mentoring session from 2 to 4 p.m. Again, the judges will share their views on their final prototyping. And after the mentoring session 2, the participants must submit all their submissions in the given Google form, which will be shared in the WhatsApp group. And finally, there is a validity and results program, which will be held from 4 to 5 p.m. on the end of day 3. And the final results will be announced, and top five teams will be listed in the Hall of Fame. Now I'm just moving on to the prizes and internships. Top 3 performers will receive the exciting cash prizes and internships at the MIT Square, London. And all participants will get the participation certificate, and the winners will receive the cash prizes within 7 working days. Yeah. Next, I'm just given the help desk numbers. For further queries, you can contact us. I am myself Dhanush B, Program Coordinator, and Darshan M, Student Networking Coordinator. You can contact them for any issues during this 3 days of virtual hackathon. Yeah, that's all from my side. I'm now just open for the questions. If you have any questions regarding this hackathon, you can just post in this chat box. I'm ready to answer for that.
Hema, just convey him the question in chat box, ma. Hema.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'll do that. Dhanush, we have a question here. Am I audible?
Yes, Hema.
Yes, Hema.
Yes. Can we make changes to presentations for round beginning at 9:15 p.m.?
No, actually, the participants have already sent their final presentation, so there is no more time is allocated to change your presentation. You can just present the final presentation what you have submitted by yesterday. I hope I answered for that question.
Yes, Dhanush. We have another question too. Can we add some more features which we might be able to add as well in our projects?
Can we add some more features which might be able to add as well? Sorry, I can't understand the question. Maybe he can unmute and ask his question. Yeah, participants, you can also just unmute and ask your questions freely so that I can understand your question clearly.
Wait a minute, Dhanush. I want to change the settings. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
My question was like we have added in our presentations like what features we might be implementing. So can we add some more to that PPT or is that fixed?
It's not necessary to add now. You can just explain what are the features you are going to give in your prototype. You can just explain in the presentation round.
Okay, okay.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, will we are getting our particular slots for the presentation round?
Yeah. After this query session, maybe our organizing team will put you in the separate breakout rooms. There are 2 breakout rooms. You will be directly put onto your slot. That directly you will be put onto a particular breakout room where the judges will be available. And the schedule will be shared by the separate organizer which we have allotted for you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Is there any mandatory feature